The Budweiser Shootout on Fox is sponsored by non-drowsy Claritin allergy products. Getting set for the restart, double file. Dale Earnhardt Jr., Dave Blaney, Chevy and Toyota on the front row. Tony Stewart up to third, the highest he's been all night with Carl Edwards. Reed Sorensen with Kurt Busch and Dodges. Casey Mears, Casey Kane, Mark Martin and Clint Boyer, the top 10 as we go back to green.
You know, going back to that crash a while ago with Jamie McMurray, that's also a terrible spot for the spotters, because the spotters are right here at the start-finish line and they're looking dead at the cars there as they come off turn 4.
Well, I think a lot of the time what happens is we put a spotter in turn 4 because from the top of the spotter stand you can't see coming off of turn 4, and I think it looked like somebody just said Jamie was clear and he just came up, because it wasn't like he just jerked up there. I mean, he eased up there and then they wrecked. So, and defending Michael here a little bit, Darrell, on pit road, you know this place is slick, so you can't just turn it left and stomp on the brakes. So you'll slide the front tires a long ways.
That is, there's no way a spotter can make that call right here in this area right here.
Michael Waltrip missed his pit and restarts 20th. Krista?
Well, guys, this may actually work out okay for Michael. He and his crew chief, Paul Andrews, just talking, and Michael said, I'm just going to kind of hang out a little bit, try to save some gas, and Paul said, hey, you know, if this thing stays green, we're good to the end on Sunoco power, so just don't lose the draft. But, hey, by the way, if we have any extra laps, we're not okay.
Yeah, those 3 caution laps probably bought most of these cars that little bit they needed. You don't use near as much fuel in the caution to do green, and a lot of them were just 2 or 3 laps short of making the 50 laps on fuel.
Pretty optimistic, I might add, to think that there's not going to be another caution.
Dave Blaney, former champion of the World of Outlaws, who won a pole in New Hampshire last July in a Toyota, first pole by a foreign nameplate in NASCAR since Lloyd Shaw at Langhorne, Pennsylvania in 1953.
4-car breakaway on the bottom.
Steve.
And Mike, Dave Blaney out front of the 22 car. He likes that, not necessarily because he's leading, that's good too, but he had said before to his crew chief Tommy Baldwin, this car is a lot more stable and a lot more comfortable when I'm out in front by myself.
Well, and that's acting a lot like the old car. It's getting all that clean air on the nose that's putting pressure and downforce on the front end that's helping the car to turn, I'm sure. Where when you're behind the car, you lose that downforce.
Blaney's paint job is a tribute to all the cat dealers in Canada and the U.S. that have supported the racing team for all these years, and it's a tribute car to all of them.
Let's go back to 15th here, riding with Denny Hamlin. That's Jimmy Johnson just ahead. Hamlin was involved in the crash with McMurray, but runs in 15th. Matt?
Mike, the hits keep coming for Denny Hamlin, the 06 winner. Now he pitted twice. The second time just to top off with some Sunoco. The first time to fix both front fenders. Now he may have a possible driveline vibration. Curtis Markham told him if it gets worse, then we'll pit. Right now, just try to ride it out and do the best you can.
Now we're seeing Jeff Gordon here in the 24 car. Remember, Steve reported before the 10-minute break that his car was missing. One thing they did during that break is these cars have 2 ignition systems. They went to the other ignition system, at least sitting on pit road. The car sounded much better, and he's definitely running much better here than he did in the first 20 laps.
J.J. Yaley to the inside, just behind. New team for Yaley this year, Hall of Fame Racing. Moving there from Joe Gibbs.
If you know your car is going to be good over the long run, you're going to be real patient right now. Let these guys wear their tires down a little bit, and then I'll get them when they get single file, because they're going to get single file here pretty quickly.
Tell you another car I believe that's made it much, much better. We talked to him during the break is Jimmy Johnson in that 48 car. They just had some things they needed to sort through in the first 20 laps and then made the right adjustments.
My vote for most improved, number 20, Tony Stewart. Car never got much out of line. 7th, 8th, 9th place in the first 20 laps. Here he is coming to the front.
And how many times have we seen this at Daytona? Dale Earnhardt Jr. leading, Tony Stewart running second right with him.
I tell you, and he wasn't bashful about sticking it in there beside a Blaney either and forcing him out of the way to get by him.
Yeah, but those two get together, it's like Dean Martin, Jerry Lewis, or any other pair that you can name. They are tough to top when they're together. Here is how Dale Jr. got the lead from Dave Blaney.
Look at him fighting the wheel. Dale Jr. fighting that wheel, trying to get that side draft so he can pull right on past.
And
look
he
at the
definitely
car.
did it
Look
with
at that.
side draft.
I mean, Tony's right on his back bumper, and that's really making him dart around, but he's hanging on to it.
Darrell, what happens to the car when you come up alongside the right rear quarter panel of another car, get close, and then break away? What happens?
Well, when you get to that right rear quarter panel, when you pull right up next to that door, there's a void right there. And when you go there, there's a void, then you swing out and you get the draft effect off of the side of the car. So you're coming inside the wake and then back out of the wake. It slows the other guy down and speeds you up, and you go right by him.
Wonder where he learned that move.
I don't know, but I think the one thing I think he learned was he can see that air. I can tell you that.
I think we've used this comment before. The apple didn't roll too far from the tree.
Not at all.